I just marinated it in plastic. We don't like plastic, we like glass. Why do we care about all this plastic? What's the big deal?
It's a toxic bomb.
Our whole practice is based on getting you to be the best version of yourself.
Remove the crappy foods, the wheat, the dairy, the sugar.
Everything we do is based in the medical literature and evidence-based medicine. We're going to look at how to get you healthy, not how to get you on medicines, how to get you off medicine. There's a couple of very curious things that CBD oil does, helping people with migraine headaches reduce the frequency and intensity of their headache. People that have ADD or ADHD, anxiety or mood swings or depression, these things can help decrease anxiety and make a child more calm. Lyme has been found from coast to coast. 50% of all counties in the United States have Lyme disease documented. Well, hello. It must be Wednesday. It must be 3
at
o'clock.
3.
Dr. Gary Huber, Chelsea Cato, and we want to talk to you today about sleep. Hopefully, if you've not been tuning into, I found you. If you've not been
Talking in space.
I'm just looking at Chris. If you've not been following our videos, they're all on YouTube, Dr. Gary Huber YouTube channel, and we've talked about a number of things so far. We've talked about Lyme's, we've talked about
gut health,
keto, ketogenic, etc. So today we want to talk about sleep. Really, really, really important. You want to live long, you want to be healthy, you want to be active, you want to feel good. Earlier today I put out on Instagram, it just said, I feel awesome. The weather outside is gorgeous. And why do I feel good? Because I slept good last night. So I sleep good most nights, right? Most nights. And so today, right now, I want you to think about, are you sleeping good? And if you have a question, I want to hear about it. We want to be answering your questions right now today. We're going to talk about sleep a little bit, but we're more interested in hearing where are you struggling, and you want to tell them what a normal sleep, what does good sleep look like?
Good sleep, which I'm glad you brought that up, because most patients will say, oh yeah, I sleep good, and they're sleeping 5 hours, they're waking up 2 of those hours. That's terrible sleep.
Yeah.
Good sleep is defined as at least 7, optimally 8 hours. You're not waking up to look at the alarm clock, you're not going to the restroom, you're falling asleep within 10 minutes.
That's a big one, because people say, oh, I sleep fine. I wake up 2 or 3 times.
Oh my gosh.
That's not good.
Fine.
That's not fine.
That's not
okay.
good.
So if you're waking up 2 or 3 times a night, not good. You mentioned getting up and going to the restroom, but you mentioned it takes more than 10 minutes to fall asleep.
Yep. If you're sitting there laying in bed for an hour before you fall asleep, that's not good.
Right.
We won't settle for that. That is poor sleep, and there's things that we can do to fix your sleep. And we would argue sleep is probably the biggest thing that can change your health for the better. It's huge.
There's 4 basic things we always harp on. If you do 4 basic things, you're going to live long and very healthy. Eat real food, not processed garbage. Get real good sleep, right?
Yep.
Exercise, move your body, and manage your stress. If you do those things, you're not going to be at the oncology, cardiology office. You're going to be doing much better.
And don't you find that so many patients will say, well, I'll sleep when I'm dead. Or I don't have time to sleep. I'm so busy. You don't understand.
I don't have time to sleep.
Or they just have it in their mind that, hey, I can only go, or I can live off of 5 hours of sleep. You know, I'm an Energizer bunny. I don't need sleep. Yes, you do. You do.
Well, let's get into that, because why is sleep so important, and what is it doing for your body? You might get by in 5 hours sleep, but your body is not enjoying that ride. Right now, you and I are doing damage to our body. We're breathing air, we're eating food, we're walking around. Wear and tear, just micro trauma to your body. It's normal, and your body can repair if it gets sleep. If you don't give it the nutrition, and if you don't give it 7.5 hours of uninterrupted sleep, the body interprets that as a stressor.
Yeah.
So let's look at what is so important about sleep, and why is it so damaging if we don't get it. I'm going to have Chris put up a graphic. Our brains right now are alive, right? And if you see the little tiny squiggly lines at the very top, that's an awake brain. And as you go down with each of those colored blocks, you're falling deeper into sleep. You see that one at the bottom? That's a really tall wave and it's really wide. That's a delta wave. That's deep sleep. Many people, as they get older, they get 0 deep sleep.
Wow.
And so if you're not falling into deep sleep, you're not repairing. Now imagine every day if we did damage, but we didn't get good sleep, so we didn't repair, and every day that damage piles up upon itself, upon itself, upon itself. If we're not getting into that deep brainwave sleep, we're having a problem. And here's the thing that a lot of us do to ourselves that we don't realize. We take our iPhone and we put it right on our nightstand, and it's emitting electromagnetic waves. We have a clock radio, and the cord has alternating current. It's emitting electromagnetic waves. You may have a lamp plugged in. Maybe it's turned off, but it's alternating current. So all these electromagnetic waves are bombarding your head.
And our TV is on while we're sleeping.
And all those things can interfere with your brain's ability to get into those deep delta wave sleeps. And
Which
if you
is
don't get
key.
there, your body doesn't repair. So
I would say one of the biggest downfalls of not sleeping is weight gain. Yes. When a patient comes in and they say, I want to lose weight, of course I'm going to say, well, what are you eating? But the second question I have is, how are you sleeping? I would put nutrition up here and sleep right here.
Right beneath it.
As far as how I'm going to help someone lose weight, it's everything when it comes to weight
what
loss.
does sleep have to do with weight? That doesn't even make sense.
Everything. It helps with glucose metabolism and regulation. You will, and you'll notice, if you don't sleep the next day, guess what you're going to crave? Ho-Hos and Twinkies and chips. You're not going to crave broccoli, carbs. You're going to crave carbs.
So when we feel tired, when we don't get proper sleep, our body feels under stress. We're cavemen and women. Our genes have not changed since we were cavemen. And so when the body senses that sleep has been contracted or shortened or interrupted, it goes, stress, something's wrong. Is there famine? Are there tigers? Something's wrong. I'm going to spike cortisol because I must be ready to fight or fly, right? And so when we do that, when we spike cortisol, thyroid goes down, hormones go down, cravings begin to arise.
Weight goes up.
And we find ourselves dropping off at 2 in the afternoon being tired, so we grab some sugar and some coffee, and then later at night we say, the heck with eating good, I'm tired, I deserve a break, I'm going to get something else. So we do find, we've had patients, you've had patients walk in and say, I eat an awesome diet, and I'm exercising, but I'm not losing weight and I'm frustrated. And you ask them, how are you sleeping?
That happens all the time.
5 hours.
Yeah.
If you're only sleeping 5 hours, as I often say, get used to wearing big pants because you're not going to lose weight. So sleep's a very important part of that. So we understand the physiology a little bit and why it's so important, but what are people doing to interfere with good sleep? Let's say I want to get good sleep. I'm dedicated to doing that, but what are people doing that interferes with that?
Oh gosh. Well, we touched on the electromagnetic waves
that
are right in our heads. I would say the biggest thing is we are just on our laptops, our screens, or computers right before we go to bed. We are go, 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 and then expecting to hit the pillow and, okay, I'm ready to sleep, but our brain hasn't settled down or calmed down yet. Cortisol and stress throughout the day is probably one of the biggest things that will make you not sleep at night. Would you agree?
Yeah, and I find one of the current themes or recurrent themes that I see is mothers. Mothers that are taking care of kids, and finally it's 9 o'clock, the kids are in bed. Now I can go do a load of laundry. Now I can clean up the kitchen. Now I can have some me time. I'll stay up and watch that movie on Lifetime. But you know, that they take that as me time, but they also stay too busy. If the kids are asleep, but the kids are down at 9 and you're planning to go to bed at 10:30ish, you should chill. You should relax. You should get away from being busy and let your brain begin to calm down. Let your brain slow down and descend into a decent sleep pattern. So oftentimes, okay, the kids are in bed, now it's time to answer all my emails and go through all my little things on my phone. And like you said, that blue light from those screens tells your brain, daytime, daytime.
Wake up.
And then you turn the device off and you try to lay down and your brain's going, what are you doing? It's daytime. And it can take you an hour. How many of you are turning on the TV to lull you to sleep because your brain is just too busy, right? So these are things that we sometimes get in our own way and create
It's
problems
almost taboo in America to get sleep, in a way. I mean,
It is.
it's, I gotta be so busy, I gotta have 4 or 5 hours of sleep. I mean, that's kind of the cool thing to do in America, is not sleep and work your butt off, and we're killing ourselves.
Yeah, it's this little badge of honor I wear that I can multitask.
Yeah.
And I can work from 7 a.m. until 11 p.m. no problem.
Yeah.
And it's not necessarily good. So this is going to catch up to us all. If we don't get good sleep, we're going to start to trend toward diabetes and hypertension and weight gain. So you've got to factor it in. We do a talk we've done before of the perfect day. And the perfect day starts at 8:30 p.m. That's when your day starts, because that's when you end today and start tomorrow. What we mean by that is by 8:30, chill. The day's over. Relax and prepare for a good night's sleep. If you don't create that pattern of good sleep, and that's where people struggle, constantly it's, well, I work and I have the kids and I have all this to do. The most important thing you have to do today is get 7.5 hours sleep. And we can't just say, well, I'll sleep when I'm dead, or I don't have time for that. If you don't make time for it, you're gonna
die early.
You're gonna die early. You're gonna lose a lot of time going to the doctor's office. So it is that key and that pivotal to your health.
So what about the patients who maybe try to respect their sleep, but they are laying in bed for 9 hours and they do wake up, every hour, and they cannot sleep, despite them putting it as a priority? What would you suggest for that?
Well, what the brain does, what the body does, as nighttime approaches, if you let your brain calm down. So first of all, some type of a meditation habit not to make you go to sleep, but to quiet your brain down, whether it's at noon or dinner or evening, but some kind of, that can really help your brain to be more calm. But your brain has to do 3 things as the evening approaches. In fact, I always hear this from guys that went on a hunting trip or a camping trip. They go, oh, I slept so much better. Yeah, because what are you doing at 8:30 on a camping trip? Not a lot, not a lot to do. And so when we take on that mentality, our brain begins to do its natural process. It begins to make melatonin. We got to make melatonin. Under stress, our bodies do not make serotonin during the day. Serotonin is our happy chemical, we feel light. And serotonin at nighttime gets turned into melatonin. But if we've been stressed, we didn't make serotonin, we're not going to have melatonin. We need melatonin to go up. We need GABA, which is a very calming neurotransmitter, to begin to go up. And if we're under stress, it doesn't do that very well. And we need cortisol to go down. So for your brain to fall asleep at night, those 3 things have to happen in unison. Oftentimes, we can trigger some of that response. We give people melatonin, or we give them something, an amino acid that triggers more GABA production, or we do something during the daytime, like adaptogens that lower cortisol. So if you're struggling with that and you're trying to get good sleep, again, contact us or sit with Chelsea to kind of dissect where are we falling apart, and maybe there's some supplementation that can help your brain to get better sleep. And I find that if we use these things and people sleep better for a month or 2, they don't need them forever.
I was just going to say that.
It's a transition.
It's almost retraining your brain how to sleep, because so many patients say, right when I hit the pillow, my brain goes, and they're just thinking of everything they need to do, even though they might be tired. So it is retraining your brain how to sleep, how to stay asleep, and then you can kind of wean off some of these supplements as your lifestyle changes, as your diet improves. Yes, they're a tool
to get you to another place. And when you say turn off the brain, so many of us go through that to-do list and we can't shut it down. And so for people that learn how to meditate, all you're doing is learning to quiet your brain. I'm not talking about religion. I'm talking about meditation as a brain exercise. People that meditate learn how to calm their brain down so that they can ignore their to-do list. That's a very important, helpful element in this.
And if you think about during the day, our brains are never stopping. We always are thinking, judging, analyzing, criticizing, go, 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 never giving it a second to just be. It's rare to have a moment like that in the day, and you've got to retrain your brain how to do that. And people say, I can't meditate, my mind is too busy. And we say, you're the perfect person.
You're the person that needs to meditate.
You're the perfect person.
You know, there is this concept of mindfulness. A lot of us have heard about it or seen it. It's a hot term, mindfulness. But realistically, through the day, if we learn how to belly breathe and we just stop for a second and take a deep belly breath and do that a few times, it's amazing how it brings you right into the present moment. It can be very calming. So these are all little tools that we teach our patients how to do that can collectively be very helpful. One big matzo ball we got to bring up, hormones.
Hormones.
So it's very common for women as they get into perimenopause or menopausal state, the hormones change. And hormones have a dramatic impact on our brain. And so when we lose them, oftentimes sleep just really curtails and becomes a problem. So if that applies to you, I mean, talking about your hormones or what can be done to help restore them can be a huge part of being able to sleep at nighttime. So there's a lot of different things. We've talked about stress, we've talked about its impact on even thyroid and its impact on hormones. There's a lot of different modalities we bring together when we cultivate a good sleep habit, because if you're not sleeping, I'm going to struggle at every turn to get you healthy in any respect, whether it's hypertension, metabolic syndrome, we're really, really going to struggle. We're going to talk about hormones in the upcoming weeks, but not next week, because next week
is our cooking demo.
So next week, July 25th, 2018. So if you're looking at this 3 months from now, you missed it. But so next Wednesday, we're having a cooking demo, a Custom Distributors, right off of 275 north side of town, and you are welcome to come. Call our office and RSVP. It's 924-5300. Tell me you want to go to the cooking demo. We'll get you signed up. It's going to be a lot of fun. There may or may not be some wine involved. There's definitely going to be some fun. And we're going to show you quick, easy things in the kitchen that just help make your day easier. For people that are uninitiated to cooking or they hate cooking or they don't know how to cook, this is a great start point. For people that are pretty capable in the kitchen, we're going to show you some shortcuts. And we're just going to try to make meal preparation healthier and easier. And we're going to answer all the questions about, cookware and other things within your kitchen. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a lot of fun. We've done this many, many times, and it's always an enjoyable evening. So next Wednesday, July 25th, starts at 6 p.m.
Yep, 6
Call
o'clock.
the office, 924-5300, and reserve a spot, and we really look forward to seeing you there.
And then the following week, we've got hormones. Is that what?
Yeah.
Yep.
The week after that, we're going to start getting into male hormones, female hormones,
Big topic.
and menopause in general. So that's going to be interesting. It's another
Tune
big
in.
matzo ball. Okay. So, Chris, do we have any questions?
We certainly do. Is there an easy way to measure brain waves at home?
An easy way to measure brain waves at home. There isn't. The wave pattern that I showed you is an EEG, right, where they put all the little electrodes, not screws, just little sticky electrodes, and they're measuring brain waves that way. You can't measure brain waves at home, but you can measure heart rate variability. Heart rate variability. There are 2 videos on our website. Go to huberpm.com, and under education, under videos, we have 2 videos that talk about heart rate, not just heart rate variability. And if you measure heart rate variability, it'll show you your sympathetic and parasympathetic balance. And if that's off, you can make some assumption about how deeply you are sleeping. A sleep study, where you go to a hospital and they put you in a room and wire you up, they'll do a full EEG and you can see what your sleep waves are. And what's interesting, I've seen many, many sleep studies. I've seen people 50 years of age that get 0 delta wave sleep, and that's very dangerous.
Wow.
That guy's not going to live as long as somebody who's getting delta wave sleep. So great question. I don't know of any way to measure it at home.
That's
Yep. No more questions.
it. Okay.
Oh my goodness. All right. Here I thought I inspired greatness from you guys.
Well-
Anyways, if you have further questions, you can always email us or reach out to us, and we'd be happy to answer it. So next week, we're going to be a live event, but it's going to be a cooking demo. I look forward to seeing you there. Hopefully you can be there live. And then beyond that, we'll see you for hormones in the coming weeks. All right?
Get some sleep tonight.
Get some sleep tonight. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next week. Take care. Bye now.